All right, we are back after a 2 week break due to a family, due to a death in my family. Uh, I am back. Um, some things that happened since I've been gone, uh, you know, but it seems to be all good. Vikings are playing a team that they've only played 7 times and only lost once. Spurgeon Wynn was the quarterback. Todd Bauman played a couple of plays, but it was mostly Spurgeon Wynn. So it looks good this week. So before we start, for those of you who joined, the only thing we ask is we know what happened yesterday. Um, so there will be none of that talking here. This is Vikings talk. So for those of you, uh, for those of you who are joining, we'll just stick it to the Vikings Jaguars this week, and we will. Hold on a second. I'm looking for a link. There we go.
Score Vikings, let's win this game. Score Vikings, honor your name. Go get that first down, then get a touchdown. Rock 'em, sock 'em, fight, 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 fight. Go Vikings, run out the score. You'll hear us yell for more. V-I-K-I-N-G-S. Score Vikings, let's roll.
So we're starting already at my house with Dougie. So,
well, before we start, I need to bring this up. Within the last week, we've lost a former Viking great. They're getting older, so we are losing them. Former starting middle linebacker Lonnie Warwick passed away last week at the age of 82. So it's that. As far as that starting defense from Super Bowl IV, the only ones that are left are the front four and Paul Krause and Bobby Bryant. That's it. From that 69 defense, that's it. So just want to put that out there. Rest in peace, Lonnie.
yeah, that's what the older you get, it happens more and more.
Part of life. It's just
Yeah.
a part of life, you know. And Lonnie, his history with the team was he's the one that got in that famous fight with Joe Cap, where the Vikings, after a loss, Joe blamed the offense, Lonnie blamed the defense. They went outside and fought it out. Very few punches landed. I think Joe had a shiner. And then the next morning, it was all forgotten. They both, matter of fact, Lonnie went to pick up Joe so they could talk to Bud Grant in his office. So it was one of those stories from back in the day. But yeah, we've lost another one. Rest in peace, Lonnie.
Yeah, I mean, that's why you need to know your history because there's not too many people left around who can tell it, and
Mm-hmm.
the ones who actually experienced are actually we're losing. So
And that number's dwindling, uh, which happens. But yeah, that number is getting smaller also.
yeah,
So,
yeah,
put
it's
that out there.
unfortunately it happens, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So, but like I said, with the Vikings and the Jaguars have only played 7 times. The Vikings have won 6 of them.
We don't have much of a history with them.
Well, the games really, I mean, first time they played was 1998.
Oh, that was 51-10 on Sunday Night Football.
50-10. Then the
Yeah.
one after that's the one that they lost, 2001, 12-23.
That was a little revenge there for Coughlin. That was 33-3.
Yeah, yeah. And then the Vikings won 27-16 3 years later.
Okay.
Then 4 years later, the Vikings won 30-12. And then 4 years later, again, the Vikings won by 3 in overtime. And then 4 years later, the Vikings 25-16. And then 4 years ago, in 2020, Vikings won 27-24 in overtime.
Yeah, that one went down to the final, the last play of the game. It damn near ended up in a tie. But yeah, I mean, they come up on our rotation every 4 years. So
Yeah.
we don't have and Jacksonville didn't get into the league until 95. So
Yeah, Dan Bailey, you remember him?
the kicker,
He was,
yeah.
he was one that had the game-winning field goal.
Oh geez. Now you're
They
bringing up
actually, they actually had a sack. Well, the Vikings had a sack in the end zone for a safety.
yeah, I think that was it Otonomo?
No,
Otomowo?
Odovan Bayo, whatever his name was. Yeah.
Otomowo, yeah. It says the Otomowo.
And then
No, it was Odenigbo.
yeah, Odenigbo. Yeah.
Yep.
I can't say it. It was Mike Glennon.
Yeah, Glennon was the starting quarterback for the Jags.
Yeah, Justin Jefferson, 20-yard touchdown pass before that. Kick failed. The good old Dan Bailey missed extra. Good old Dan Bailey missed Mr. Extra Point.
Yeah, he was not good at his extra points, that's for damn sure.
Yeah. So the Vikings may not be playing they may not be playing Trevor Lawrence.
No. It could be Mac Jones. And the Jaguars did sign CJ Beathard today. So that tells me that Lawrence might not play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I don't think it really matters who plays a quarterback for the Jaguars because I expect the Vikings defense to do the same thing against the Jaguars that they did against the Colts.
Here's my thing. How has Doug Peterson managed to keep his job this long? The team's gotten progressively worse since he's been there.
I think Trevor Lawrence is a bust.
I do too.
So I do too. He was only good at Clemson because of the players he had around him. Kind of like Klubnik right now. Klubnik is only good because of the players he had around him.
And I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't expect Trevor Lawrence to light it up this Sunday at all. I expect Brian Flores to put some.
Is Cashman playing?
Sounds like he's on a snap count, but it sounds like he might play.
Okay, so we'll see what Cashman means to the defense then. If Cashman's going to play,
give him. You know what? Give the defense credit Sunday. I mean, that game started out like that was going to be your typical KOC coach game where he just comes out house of fire, and then after the first 15, 20 plays, he's lost. But
now, another question. I've not talked to you since the Lions game, pretty much.
Okay.
2 games in a row, Sam Darnold gets a face mask penalty. One was a safety. One ended up being a fumble.
A touchdown, yeah.
So, until the NFL, until the ref, because I don't understand why the referees, umpires are protected. You should be able to criticize them like you criticize the player, or like you criticize the coach. For the referee at the Rams game to say he didn't see it, bullshit. And for them to pick up the flag, he was
standing right there looking at it.
And for them to pick up the flag against the Colts, you're the referee. That is your job to call that. So who's going to convince you? Who's going to tell you on your another referee is going to tell you you didn't see what you saw?
Well, here's another thing too. The NFL sees that. They're watching it in New York. How do you let it go?
Yeah, because they called the penalty. So but then they picked up the flag. So instead of picking up the flag, why don't you go to New York and say, "Hey, can you help?" They got replay assist for a reason.
And here's another thing too. Then I'll go back to the Rams game. A lot of people forgot about this. That could have been reviewed, and it could have been a flag. Okay.
Yeah.
You review all scoring plays. Keep that in mind. That was a scoring play. But they always say that they never reverse a penalty on a scoring play. That's BS because guess what? The league did it to the Vikings in Green Bay, I think 2 or 3 years ago, where there was a touchdown. They reviewed it, but in the process of reviewing it, they called a pick play on the Vikings and wiped out the touchdown. So they can do it. Why they didn't do it against the Rams, I don't know. And the Indianapolis game
I'm not saying the Rams. I'm not saying they would have beat the Rams, but they
we
it
don't
took
know. They
away
never
their
got
chance. It took away their chance to go down and do it.
Yeah, they never got the chance
Um,
to drive downfield, and it was blatant. That's the whole thing.
Yeah.
It was blatant. It's right there. How do you in New York do not say no?
Yeah.
That's a flag. You did it for Brian Branch against the Packers with that targeting call, and then how do you? There's a flag in the Colts game. Grover Stewart literally clubs him.
Yep.
And they get away with it. They pick it up, they wave it off, and call it a touchdown. Here's my thing:
Only touchdown the Colts scored.
Only touchdown, which hats off to Brian Flores. The NFL loses a lot of credibility when they say they're trying to make the game safer, but then you see plays like this and they let them go.
Well, it depends. If it was Mahomes, both of those penalties are called.
Hell, they can't. Here's the deal. It's so bad for Kansas City. They can't call false start on the Chiefs. That tackle, and anybody that's watched the Chiefs notices that right tackle jumps every single play. He false starts.
Yeah.
They never call it.
Or even, what's his name? What up, Yogi?
Hey, Yogi.
Even not even that with Josh Allen, Herbert, Burrow,
all those quarterbacks get the call.
Darnold's not going to get it. They all get that call.
Yeah, they're not going to get it. Of course, Lawrence gets them too. They're not going to give that call for some reason to Sam Darnold. I don't understand why. I just don't.
Well, Cousins never got it either.
No, he's taking some shots this year, to be honest. I'm kind of like,
yeah, I appreciate it, Yogi. But you said something about that link to where the reason I put your channel, I link your channel to this show is because you said you put the link for when I put that link in there to go to my channel. I don't know. You understand the YouTube stuff better than I do. I don't think that's going to be an issue against. If you think about it, if Sam Darnold, what up, Lefty? If Sam Darnold doesn't make a mistake, the game is not even close. Sunday night game, it's not even close.
No, it's a shutout. It could be
right,
a shutout.
But here's the thing: Sam Darnold, when he played for the Jets and played for the Panthers, Sam Darnold would have completely disappeared in that game. He would have just kept making mistake after mistake after mistake.
Yeah.
So he actually came back and got 3 touchdowns.
He's got the gunslinger mentality, like
yeah.
And I think, and I hate to say it, I'm gonna say it.
Hello, Jen. Thank you for watching. Make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button, please. Much appreciate it.
Darnold really hasn't been the same since he came back from London,
right?
And I want to say we went through this with Dobbs last year. It's almost once again KLC is getting in his ear and telling him he's literally forcing passes to Justin Jefferson.
Right, because Addison. How many times has Addison been wide open when he's forcing?
Addison's been wide open. Oliver's been wide open. Hell, Aaron Jones was running a fly pattern down the friggin' field against the Lions, and he didn't throw to him. So
yeah, I don't think it's going to be the next 2 games. I don't think it's going to be much of an issue.
I don't either, but as Viking fans, we're used to those games where they play down to their competition.
I don't.
I'm not going to say that's going to happen now.
I know. I just hope it. I hope it doesn't happen. But I don't. I mean, I don't. I think they can play bad and win both these games.
You know what though? I'm not going to say that because guess what? They play bad against one of these teams, they're going to lose, and it could be.
No, Tennessee and Jacksonville are so bad. I don't. They would have to play their worst game in years to lose either one of these teams.
Yeah, the problem could also be. I mean, it also depends if KLC is going to have these guys ready. But I figure they put up 30 on the Jaguars easily.
Do what? I'm sorry, I'm doing my show.
I figure they put up 30 on the Jaguars easily, and
it's
especially if Trevor doesn't play.
I think
even if Trevor plays, they do.
It's gonna be like 35-0.
I'm saying like 37-13 Vikings. The NFL will probably gift them a damn touchdown at the end.
Well, the history shows that that 9 times out of 10. Well, they've only played 7 times, but if it's close, it'll go to overtime. Other than that, they pretty much all the wins are pretty big.
Yeah, and I don't know what kind of weather. I don't know what kind of weather is going to be in Jacksonville. If it's Mac Jones starting, it's a wrap. Vikings win.
Well, I mean, hopefully we get like the first time they met, which was 50-10. Hopefully.
Well, now here's the problem though with the Vikings. You're going into this game.
What's up, Sarah?
You don't have your kicker and you got a new long snapper, so field goals are going to be tricky. Yeah, when Reichard missed those 2 field goals, you knew it was going to be a long night.
Well, if he wasn't injured, he probably doesn't miss them.
When did Mac Jones throw for 400 yards against us?
The Thanksgiving game.
Oh, against Donatel?
But the Vikings won that game. So
yeah, we won.
Okay. Tony and I care about yards in a game just because we are defensive guys.
Yeah.
But a lot even just coaches in the NFL or even college coaches or just coaches out there who I don't care what you get from 20 to 20. But once you get to that 20-yard line, it's the points they give up. The Vikings don't give up many points. So if Mac Jones is throwing for 400 yards in this game, that means the Vikings are killing the Jaguars.
Yeah, and it also means that Flores is called off the dogs.
Yeah.
They
might get that against our backups.
He will probably throw for, if he's starting, he probably barely throws for 230 against Brian Flores' defense. I'll tell you right now, I expect Jonathan Grenard to have a big game. He's going up against the guy that replaced Cam Robinson. Little's not very good.
Oh, we have a special. Did he say anything in private chat? Put in private. Okay, hold on a second. I don't know if he wants to come on or not.
Yogi
got a special. Oh, I guess he didn't want to come on.
Well, fine, be that way, Yogi.
Well, he didn't put in private whether or not he wanted to come on, so I took a guess. Yeah, I think I want to say that I think this is a get right game for the Vikings. Like they struggled, they had 10 days to prepare for the Colts, so it seems to me that either when the Vikings come off a bye or they have a Thursday night game and have a long time to prepare, they seem to play worse than just doing the regular routine.
But here's the thing, though. Who does that fall on?
Well, it's coaching, but it's always been that way.
Denny never had his teams that flat. Denny never had teams that flat.
Coming out of buys, yeah.
Coming out of buys.
The Vikings used to be like undefeated after buys when he was.
Denny never had teams. Childress did.
Since the Childress
did. Since Childress and Frazier, yeah.
Yeah, since Childress, it's kind of been that way.
I don't remember with Zimmer.
Yeah.
I think with the later years, he did. I think with Zimmer, there was a whole big disconnect type of thing.
Yeah.
Later on. But I mean, you can just see it with you can just kind
of were.
We were flat in the first half.
Yeah.
We moved the ball offensively, but I tell you what, if it wasn't the fact that we were playing the Colts, it could have been a different game against anybody else.
And the reason why I think the next 2 games aren't going to be an issue, especially this one against the Jaguars. I think the Jaguars are a dumpster fire right now.
I'm surprised Doug Peterson still has a job.
The Colts are the best of the Colts were the best team in the next 3 that the Vikings play. The Colts are still fighting for a playoff spot, So the Jaguars are done. I mean, They're not playing for anything. They're the backup quarterback. They're so cool. Franchise quarterback is hurt. I can't. But the only thing in the back of my mind that has me worried about this game is what happens when the Vikings usually play a backup quarterback.
I was thinking that last Sunday, and then Brian Flores made my.
Well, Flacco's really not a backup, though.
No, he's a backup.
He's kind of 1A. They kind of have a 1A.
No, he's a back. If you're not starting today's NFL, you're a backup. He's a backup, and he looked like a backup Sunday.
Well, he's starting. He started most.
He's only starting because there's the one they bank their future on sucks so bad.
Yeah, Sarah, we missed 2 field goals, but but
we missed 2 field goals. Is that what?
She corrected herself. Don't make that wet.
Oh.
Well, like I said, I lost my I don't. Oh gosh, I lost my train of thought. They were a little flat in the first half. The defense was not.
Defense wasn't, but once it got past the scripted plays, the offense got flat.
Right. Exactly. That's
the problem, and that's been the problem with KOC. Once the first scripted plays, he's fine. Once it's past the scripted plays, for some reason he gets kind of in a fog, and that's and that's on him. He's got to work on it. Yeah, that first drive was perfect. If he shouldn't have threw that ball.
Unfortunately, Lefty, that's not really true with Minnesota.
No, our pass kind of sticks with us.
Yeah,
so we're gonna be a little.
But
weird.
I will say though, maybe part of the issue may have been, we got to say, Cam Robinson. Maybe that could have been the issue why they were a little flat. Maybe they weren't really sure what he could not do.
No, actually the problem was in the middle of the line as usual.
Oh yeah, Ingram.
Don't get me started on Bradbury and Ingram again.
Ingram,
I'm tired. Every week I'm talking about those 2 clowns. I'm sick of it.
I don't think we got to worry about it this week. Jaguars don't have
I'm not holding my breath.
Jaguars don't have a good defensive line.
It doesn't matter. I'm not holding my breath with those 2 idiots. My God. I mean, and then, on the play when Stewart.
The perfect Halloween costume for those 2 would be Heckle and Jekyll.
Oh, I mean, it's pretty
for those
bad.
Who don't know, for those
you're
who
on
don't know,
national TV and you just get knocked the fuck out and dude runs over you.
He got dump trucked.
Oh my God.
But yeah, for those who don't know Heckle and Jekyll, look it up.
He got dump trucked, bulldozed, big time bitched. Tyler Fornes loves Ed Ingram. He said there's nothing wrong with Ingram at all. And that just tells you right there, Tyler Fornes really don't know what the hell he's talking about. And if
here's the thing. If you have to rotate Ingram and Reisner, then do it.
Reisner didn't see the field.
Right. Reisner is better than Ingram. Some people say he's not.
Well, Reisner is not a very good run blocker. I know that. He's not a very good run blocker.
His pass blocking is far superior than Ingram's.
Many people's pass blocking is far superior than Ingram.
Right. So you have him on there, so why not play him?
Well, here's another. And now see, the one that I thought they should have replaced Ingram with, they left him on practice squad, and the Patriots signed him.
What up, Woods?
Oh, what's up, D Woods? I wanted the Vikings to keep Robinson. He was on practice squad, but the Patriots signed him off of practice squad. So
you didn't watch our live stream on Sunday, Tony.
I saw a little bit of it.
With Woods and I had a phone conversation after that as well.
I saw a little bit of it. I didn't watch a lot of it because I was end of the first half, I was pretty
Yeah.
halftime. I was pretty pissed.
Yeah.
But yeah, I every week you can't sit there and look at Ed Ingram and goddamn Bradbury.
That was the first time that the Vikings did not score in the first half since the last time they played the Colts.
Yeah, have you noticed that? It's been the Colts.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's always the Colts.
And
What
they
is
don't
so
have
great
the
about
Vikings
goddamn
don't.
Colts?
And if we were able to do our show last week, I had an issue, I think, and then Tony had an issue, so we weren't able to do last week's show.
Yeah, there was a
But
ton of issues all around.
if you would have watched our show last week, you would have saw that the Colts and the Vikings don't have a very good history against the Colts.
No, and that goes back to the early when the team first started, and the Colts were like that championship team with Johnny Unitas. I mean, we had the one blowout, the Joe Cap 7 games, and then but we very seldom beat the Colts, even recently.
Yeah.
Even with Peyton Manning, we never beat Peyton Manning.
Good classic uniforms, though.
Yeah. Now, see, what would have made that matchup on Sunday night better is if the Vikings had wore their throwbacks.
Yeah.
That would have been perfect.
So the Eagles should go back to their Kelly green uniforms that they wore.
Yes.
The Bucks should definitely go back to the creamsicles.
Yes.
The Vikings should go back to theirs.
Mm-hmm.
And the Falcons should go back to the red helmet with the black uniform.
Yeah. You know what? They could go to the red helmet. I'd keep the current Falcon.
Yeah.
I think the current Falcon would look pretty good on the red helmet.
Yeah.
You know,
and
to be honest, the Jaguars
what the hell,
go back to theirs.
What the hell were the Packers wearing Sunday? They did not look like NFL uniforms.
Those are throwbacks from the 50s.
They did not look like NFL uniforms. They looked like they were like high school.
That's what they wore in the 50s. Yeah, that was their uniforms in the 1950s.
We never beat Tom Brady. I think
we beat Eli. We've never beat Brady and never beat Peyton.
Yeah.
But we beat the shit out of Eli. Eli actually threw more interceptions that resulted in pick sixes for the Vikings than he did touchdown passes.
He could not. Vikings were Eli Manning's kryptonite.
Yeah.
Why couldn't we ever play him in a championship game?
Well, hell, the Packers couldn't beat him.
Yeah.
They couldn't beat Eli.
Patriots couldn't beat him.
No.
Tom Brady couldn't beat Eli.
Nope.
See, everybody has their kryptonite. But going back to this game, I don't see the Jaguar numbers are similar to the Colts numbers, but the Colts have a better offense. Jaguars defense is not very good.
And the Colts are 2-6, but they're 2-2 at home.
No, the Colts are 5.
Not the Colts. The Jaguars are.
Yeah, the 2-6.
Yeah. Lefty. Those throwback uniforms for the Bears. Those were the generic uniforms that all the teams wore back then. But yeah, they were bad.
Nothing's worse than the Giants, throwback uniforms. The
Which
jerseys, the ones that wore Week 1 against us.
Oh, the ones that wore them things, they can just burn.
The uniform itself wasn't bad. I've seen worse. Like the Steelers Bumblebee uniform to me is worse. But the helmets, you cannot do the winged helmet like Michigan. If your colors are blue and red, it just does not look good.
They do that. It's just like a generic thing that they all do.
Yeah.
Which they really shouldn't. They should just probably have a blue type of helmet. Or like, I think Illinois was the one that had like the leather print.
Yeah. Red Grange.
The Red Grange one, yeah. Yeah, Sarah, they did look like Pepsi cans. They really did.
Yeah.
They really did. But I mean, it's this week the Vikings should go in here and dominate. I'm hoping.
Right. Well, I don't see them. I know I said this before. I do not see them. Their real next test is against the Falcons. I don't see them losing the next 3 games.
You don't think Arizona's going to be a test?
No, they play. They play.
They play Arizona before they play Atlanta.
I thought they played Chicago, then Atlanta.
No, they start the 3-game homestand with Arizona, Atlanta, and then the Bears again.
So Arizona is their first next test, but the Vikings own Arizona.
No, not historically. The Cardinals own us.
Well, no, recently. I'm talking like the last 10 years.
Well, we had a chance to beat them 2-3 years ago, and we missed on that field goal.
Yeah, that was more of the Vikings doing it.
But we did. I mean,
so I don't think they lose the next 3 because they play the Bears, and the Bears are not playing good right now.
Bears are falling apart. Oh, by the way, for people, if you ever are bored and you get down on the Vikings and you're like, what the hell are they doing? I advise you to listen to a losing teams podcast or anybody like the Bears or the Jets or the Giants. Listen to how they talk about their team. My God, you would think that all three of those teams are just the bottom feeders of the NFL. And the Bears fans now, they want Eberflus gone. They've turned on Caleb Williams. It sounds like Eberflus has lost that locker room. They're just it's that Bears team is in shambles. So what kind of shape they'll be in when we play them, I don't know. But right now, they're in shambles, the Bears.
That Hail Mary against Washington changed the whole direction.
That killed them. That took whatever momentum they had and just killed it. And now here's the thing. Now they're getting to talk. We could have had Jaden Daniels, but we took Caleb Williams. And I bet you anything this Sunday, if the Patriots beat them, we could have had Drake May, but we took Caleb Williams.
I don't think the Patriots beat them.
Where are they playing? New England or Chicago?
I think they're playing in Chicago.
Hmm.
Both teams are bad, but I think the Bears are a little bit better.
Well, stranger things have happened. I mean, it's just offensively, they can't do anything offensively. They got a good defense, but they can't do anything offensively.
I think their defense can be had.
I do too.
So,
it's by time. Okay, so look at who the Vikings are probably facing as far as quarterbacks go over the next 3 weeks. We've got this week. We don't know if it's Trevor Lawrence or
it's sounding more and more like Mac Jones.
It's sounding more and more like Mac Jones. So that's victory for the Vikings. Next, you've got Tennessee, and is it going to be Mason Rudolph or Will Levis?
No, it's me. I think Mason Rudolph is.
Okay,
I don't know.
Mason Rudolph does not scare me. And then after
Will
that,
Levis
you got
is hurt. He didn't get benched. He's hurt.
Levis got hurt.
I believe that's why he's not starting. I thought I heard that
He must have got hurt in that Miami game.
But it doesn't really matter.
Yeah,
Neither one of those quarterbacks.
And Tennessee should have just kept Vrabel. They should have kept him.
They should have kept Tannehill.
Yeah. And then after that, we've got
Sarah says he was benched, but they called it hurt.
I believe it.
It happens.
Yeah, I believe it. But I mean, it's this team. I think they win the next 3 games. I'm going to be honest with you.
So that would put them at 9-2. I think the Lions lose this week.
Oh, the Lions are playing Houston.
I just think Texans are going to come out being pissed off about, and then they get Nico Collins back.
Detroit's they get Nico back, and they're facing an athletic quarterback. CJ Stroud's come back down to earth, but he's still one of the up and coming young quarterbacks.
I mean, the Lions would still have the lead because of the division record, but at the end of the year, if the Vikings end up with the same record as the Lions, same division record, same everything,
I think
that'll be the tiebreaker because
that'll be the tiebreaker. So we have to beat them.
Yeah.
I honestly, if the Vikings play their type of football, if they play the next weeks, if we played the first 4 weeks, they should be undefeated.
I will say, and I give KOC credit, the last part of the game against the Colts, that last drive, they threw the ball twice.
Yeah, he ran the ball.
Yeah, so if he does that against the Jacksonville Jaguars, there's no chance the Jags win.
He also ran the ball on the side of Cam Robinson, which means they've got faith in Robinson and Brandel. They ran off that side.
Yeah,
oh God, Za'Darius, really? Do we really have to deal with that?
I know. I went to Lions chat, right? And I said, I love the fact that you guys traded for a guy who's already done everything he's going to do this year.
He's already washed.
He doesn't do anything in the second half. He's a first half player.
He's already washed. He probably won't play us last week. What's up, Zoe? Oh, Zoe, how can we talk Aaron Donald out of retirement? We can't. He's living the life. He got a ring. He's living in LA. he's straight. He don't need to come back. Yep. Well, technically, he retired. I don't know how long his contract was, but
When you retire,
and depending on how long you're retired,
unless you retire a free agent,
yeah,
I believe if you retire while under contract, even
you
if
have to make up that year.
even if that contract runs out because you were not a free agent, your rights still belong to the team you retired with.
That's true. That's true.
So even if he did come out of retirement, he would still be Rams property, and the Rams ain't giving
And
him.
the Rams ain't gonna let him go. The Rams need that help.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So
the Rams need that help.
yeah, so like you sign like a 4-year contract and you do 2 years, you still got 2 years left, and let's say the third year after that second year runs out, the contract's over, you come back. Since you retired with your contract, you're still property of that team you retired with.
Yeah, they still have your rights.
Yeah.
So yeah, Tampa Bay had to trade for Gronk. That's right. To get him, because he retired and
He was
they still had his
property.
rights. Matter of fact, Brett Favre did the same thing. They still had his rights. So,
well, I wasn't. So, like I said, I don't think Jacksonville is much of a worry. History shows that they're not much of a worry. The only time they beat us is when Spurgeon Wynn was our quarterback, and if you go back and look how bad Spurgeon Wynn was,
yeah, and that's only because the starting quarterback for the Vikings got hurt.
Todd Bauman got hurt. He threw 3 passes and got hurt. Todd Bauman probably wins that game because the difference.
Yeah, because Bauman had put up like 400 yards against the Titans the
week before. Yeah.
Yeah. So
they probably win that game if Bauman plays. So it's like the Texans have never beaten the Vikings. The Jaguars only beat them once. Yeah. So I'm not really worried about it. I think the Vikings. I said the score is going to be. I said 35-0, but I don't know if the Vikings will get a shutout. But I don't see.
I gave 2 scores. If it's with Trevor Lawrence, Vikings win 31-17. If it's with Mac Jones, Vikings 37-13.
Actually, you know what? I just thought about it. Zoe's in here because we're talking about the Jaguars. They've only been around since 1996. So that's right in his wheelhouse for history.
Yeah.
I just play with you. Yeah.
Lefty, that's funny. They can't wait to get rid of Eberflus. They're trying to get rid of him right now if they could secure Ben Johnson. If they could secure Johnson, Eberflus would be history now. But
like I said,
of course you remember that, Zoe.
There's already been one head coach fired.
Yeah, now that's a surprise. I was surprised that it was
injuries, right?
It could be a bunch of things.
Well, he did lose to Carolina.
Yeah. And he started out 2-0, and he looked like he were going to be okay, and then it just went south after that. I don't know how Doug Peterson keeps a job right now. I don't understand it. I thought for sure Doug Peterson would be let go.
I think maybe Shaw is, I don't want to say gun shy, but Urban Meyer, they
went in with Urban Meyer and it didn't work.
Right. And they fired him after 6 games or something like that.
Well, and Urban was doing some kind of weird shit too.
So I don't know. I don't know if it's. I understand Doug, because Doug Peterson. Remember, before Doug Peterson won that Super Bowl and they went on that unbelievable run, he was not very good.
No,
he was considered the worst coach in the NFL.
They caught lightning in a bottle.
Yeah, he was the worst head coach in the NFL.
Yep.
So I don't know if he's a good coach or not. But you know who they should get though is Ben Johnson.
The Bears are going in hard on Johnson.
I think
They are right now. The Bears are just screaming for Ben Johnson. They want Eberflus gone now. They want to hire Johnson right now.
Who do you think will pay more for him? I think Jacksonville will pay more for him.
Yeah, because Khan's got the money.
Yeah.
Tony Khan's got a lot of money.
Yeah.
Or Shad Khan's got a lot of money.
Khan, yeah.
Man,
if you're gonna have a business, you need to have one like his.
You can tell I watch wrestling because I said Tony Khan.
Tony Khan owns his company. For those who don't know,
Tony Khan, the son of Shad Khan, the owner of the Jaguars, owns AEW Wrestling.
Right. Well, but his dad got his money from car parts, and his company is the only company in the world that sells those particular car parts.
Yep.
Every new car has one of those parts on their car. It doesn't matter what manufacturer. So it's nice.
So that's how they get their money. And plus, now here's the other thing with Shad. Shad wants to move the Jaguars to London, which is, he's from London. That's why he wants to play over there twice a year. He wants to move the Jaguars over to London, but now Jacksonville is going to give the Jaguars a new stadium. So that's going to help. But they have looked at the logistics of moving a team to Europe, and the Jaguars would be that team. So Trevor Lawrence is overrated. I'm sorry. I don't see it with him. I just don't.
There's a lot of other young quarterbacks I'd rather have. Yeah,
Trevor Lawrence was not high on my gotta have list.
JJ's making an appearance. He doesn't make too many of them.
Yeah. So this should be a cakewalk for the Vikings. I'm just gonna put it out there. No games are cakewalks, but
it's the NFL, so technically no games are easy, even though they may look easy. But
they all get paid. They're all professionals.
It's a 12:00 noon Sunday game, so there should be no issues.
Yeah.
No primetime issues.
The only thing that could be a problem is the weather, but I don't think they're having bad weather in Florida. I think they're fine.
This time of year, it's usually high 80s.
Yeah, so but it should be okay.
Let's see. So Sunday it is going to be 82 degrees and cloudy.
82 and cloudy?
Yep. No rain.
No rain? Okay.
Yeah.
Is Florida having a tropical storm again? They got one moving in?
It's going to miss Florida.
Okay.
There's going to be rain.
I can see her.
There's going to be
comments.
There's a 24% chance of rain, so it probably will rain sometime during the game. Then weather, the winds at 11 miles an hour.
Okay.
So if I was the Vikings, I would just run.
Catch, did you turn the comments off?
No, why?
They say that the comments aren't popping up. They're on. The comments are on the StreamYard.
Yeah. Are they not showing up on the channel, or are they not showing up on screen? Because if they're not showing up on screen, I have to physically put them on the screen. So are you guys talking like this? I have to put them up there like that.
Oh, that's what they're talking about.
Yeah, I got to put those up.
Oh, you're slacking here, Catch. Come on.
Let me go hire a producer right away.
Yeah. Hey, that's on operator error.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. See, because he's not putting them up. Yeah.
Right. But Lefty, I'm right with you there with the useless information. I know a ton of it on more than just football.
An idiot savant of useless information.
Yeah, if it might win you a trivia contest, I'm there.
I wait for my wife to refer at a bar or restaurant, and they're like, "Okay, we need people who know 80s music." 80s.
Oh, I'm right there. I'm right there.
Or,
oh my God,
we need this character who played in this movie but he also played in these 3 other movies, but 2 of them were minor roles. One was a major role. Who is it? My wife would be like, oh.
Yeah, I'm like that. I'm like that with football and music.
My
And
biggest thing
some
with my
other
wife is like if we're watching a movie and a character and an actor looks like another actor, and you say it's that actor, my wife will be like, "No, it's this actor. You better not challenge her because you'll be wrong."
right. Oh, that's right now. Woody's probably going to be an ambassador now. So that means his brother's going to take over. And Rogers will be running the team, literally running the Jets. So
Yeah, that was last night. I'll just the only thing I'm going to say about it was that last night was historic. The numbers that were put out. But that
the
is just it very rare for the side that won. They very rarely win the popular vote and the electoral vote, and he got both. So I don't know what that says, but
I don't either because the metrics were all off.
yeah,
Um,
PFF. The pollsters used PFF. That's what it is, Tony. They use PFF formula.
they use PFF. We're fucked. God.
Yeah. So yeah, Woods and I had a nice conversation after the play-by-play.
Can I mention PFF because I put it in one of my groups on Facebook. They gave Bradbury an 80.0 grade.
Well, they also, but which is weird because I also saw somebody else say that they had Ingram ranked 94th out of 99 guards. So even PFF don't like him anymore. And they used to
they had it flashed on the screen when they said the starting lineups. Ed Ingram, wherever he's from, they said PFF ranking 46 out of 47.
Yeah.
God, it's like he's and then
Lefty, I have NFL Plus, so I do watch the all 22. I don't see what he sees in him.
Oh, Tyler, is that Tyler Fornes?
Yes, I don't see what he sees in him.
I don't listen to Tyler. I don't listen to Tyler. I've watched enough football in my lifetime, and I've coached it, and I've also played it, and I've known guys that have played at that level that Ingram's at. Yeah. Ingram is complete garbage. He just is.
This week there shouldn't be an issue because Jaguars don't have a defensive line.
Okay, when has that ever stopped? When has that ever made Bradbury and Ingram look good?
Well, Bradbury at times has looked okay this year, but Ingram has not.
Okay, when you get your ass planted like Bradbury did, that whatever good you had wipes that out completely.
Right. No, I understand that, but what I'm saying is there's been times this year where Bradbury's name has not been mentioned because he didn't get blown up. He didn't allow. So I'm saying in that situation when Bradbury
there's also times in my age where I wake up and get out of bed and my bones don't crack.
Well, but what I'm saying when you're bad, I mean,
I mean, yeah, I can point out times that Bradbury played well. I can also point out times that Ingram actually played well, where actually Brandel.
Well, at the start of this year, where I remember us saying Ingram's not an issue anymore. Well, he reverted back to being.
Boy, we lied about that one.
Yeah, he's reverted. He's regressed to the mean, as they say. Yeah.
I always give, and we're both linemen, so we always give linemen the benefit of the doubt because we know how it works on the line. But they still make like some of the same mistakes every week. And it's some of the same mismatch matchups, and they just get where it's glaring, like what what's his name did last Sunday. I mean, come on, And then to make matters worse, they didn't pick up they picked up the flag.
Buckner was a man among boys last week.
Yeah,
with our guard and our center.
Well, Buckner's an all-pro.
Right.
Buckner. I don't know how old is Buckner? Is he in his 30s?
He was when was he drafted? He was drafted what, 2000?
He was a Niner, I believe.
18, 19, I think.
Yeah.
So he can't be that old. He's got to be under 30 still.
Because I'm telling you what, in the off season, we're going to need somebody in the middle of that line.
So, Lefty, it's funny you mentioned that because when we first started the show, we went overnight on what to do this.
Mm-hmm.
And we decided Wednesday night mainly because there's usually no football game on. And because when you do Monday night, you got to compete with other people doing live streams.
Yeah.
So, but this was the best time for us. Sam Darnold did hold on to the ball.
He has been holding on to the ball too long since he got back from London. And I kind of put that out there on him. I kind of put it maybe on KLC, kind of tweaking how he plays quarterback, which can be a problem. I can also put it on maybe the wide receivers aren't breaking off their routes, or they're not breaking off the coverage. They're not getting away from coverage. Sam does hold
the one when you watch the all 22 about the Vikings is Sam Darnold has played well, but when we just talk about him holding on to the ball too long, I don't know what he's looking at because
he's holding on the ball too long, but you got Aaron Jones streaking down the sideline.
Addison's wide open.
Yeah. You're kind of like, but if you've noticed the last few weeks, he's been forcing the ball into Justin Jefferson.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Could that be KFC telling him to get the ball?
It's the Randy ratio.
It could be the Randy ratio without them saying the Randy ratio. Yeah, those two picks were bad. Especially the one was right after we got the pick.
Especially the one in the end zone.
Thank you, D Woods. KOC talking too much in the headset. Yes. That falls on the offensive coach. He's overthinking it. Now, here's my other thing. What does Wes Phillips do exactly that he's got to be on the field? He don't call plays.
And he's not the quote-unquote quarterback coach.
Right. So why do you move him from the press box down to the field? For what? Because you still got delay of games. And he doesn't call plays. Somebody want to answer?
I like pig butts. That's my answer.
Oh my God. You know what, Sarah?
You know what though? Here's the thing, Sarah. Is this the same offense that he's going to run next year in JJ's first year? Because this is not the same offense they ran with Cousins. You could tell by the plays that they run. This is not the same offense that Cousins ran.
No, it could be a simpler route for them, simpler for Darnold. But I mean, it's still the playbook that everybody says you gotta. It's hard to understand.
It's still one of the hardest.
By the way, D Woods, you get the same grief I get because everybody thinks I'm being negative when I rip him, but I'm not. I'm just calling it out.
D Woods got crushed on Sunday.
Oh, did he? What happened?
Because he didn't think the defense played very well. He did not. He criticized Brian Flores.
Okay.
And I understand the points that both sides are making, but the only D Woods and I we didn't get into it like arguing. We got into it just like a discussion.
Mm-hmm.
If you really think about it, the Vikings really only have 4 players who play their natural position who aren't hybrid. You got Harrison Phillips, you got Dallas Turner, right? You have and the 2 safeties, Cam Bynum and Harrison Smith. All the other linebackers are hybrid players, right? Maybe the corners too.
No, Ivan Pace is an inside linebacker. He was an inside linebacker in college. He's an inside linebacker. He's too small. That's problem number one.
That was our comment about Pace.
Pace is too small.
But like Van Ginkel, Grenard, those are all hybrid players.
Well, see, Van Ginkel's a linebacker. He can play inside or outside. But mostly he's outside, and I think he was more outside in Miami. Cashman is an inside linebacker, always has been, even at the U.
See, Wood says he's too small to play middle linebacker.
He is too small to play middle linebacker. He is. I agree. And don't let him get caught at the line because the players maul him, and he's taken out of plays. Hell, he missed a couple of tackles last Sunday.
Yeah.
He missed a couple tackles last Sunday. He literally overran a play.
Cashman is the true middle linebacker on this team.
Cashman is your true middle linebacker. I think Grugler Hill is, well,
he's hybrid. He can play inside and outside.
Yeah, but Cashman is a true middle linebacker. Yeah. So we didn't get run over Sunday though, D Woods, because we shut down.
He got ran over.
Oh yeah, he did.
Yeah.
He did. Yeah, he did. We shut down though Jonathan Taylor.
Harrison Phillips. I don't know why people don't like him.
What are we?
He's not flashy.
He's not flashy, but is he playing? We got him playing nose tackle or anything?
Right? And he's stopping the run.
Well, I'll tell you what. The ones who are really helping him along that line are Tillery's playing his ass off. Tillery's not getting enough credit. And then Bullard, but somebody else played too.
Yeah, he's probably going to be on a snap count, Lefty.
Yeah, Grugler Hill's going to start, but he's going to play. They
really don't need Cashman until the Chicago game. They can play the next two games, have a Cashman playing 10, 15 snaps. They really don't need him until the Bears game.
Hey, go down to D Woods' comment. And unfortunately, D Woods, with the type of defense we play, he relies on hybrids. You're not going to have those true players that are those dogs at that one position.
Right. Dallas Turner is probably the only true defensive end on the team.
Yeah.
And that's what we were talking about, how Harrison Phillips is a true nose tackle.
Grenard is a tweener too, because he can play either defensive end or outside linebacker.
And that's what Woods was bringing up.
Yep.
You got Harrison Phillips, who's a true nose tackle, who's a true defensive tackle. The Vikings really don't have another one of those. Tillery
is technically a defensive tackle.
Right. Jihad Ward can play inside outside.
Jihad Ward is basically just he's on the nose when he rushes.
Right. And Cashman is the true middle linebacker.
Cashman is a true middle linebacker, but everybody else is hybrid, like you said.
Harrison Smith is really the only guy who plays true safety. And then because Metellus is all over the place.
You know what? Metellus now is what they called back in the day a rover.
Yeah, we knew what you meant, Sarah.
Yeah, we know exactly what you meant. Yeah, we know exactly what you meant.
That's unfortunate.
And that's like D Wood says, that type of defense only works until you run out of some big boys or offenses catch on. And with the Vikings case, offenses catch on.
When they play with the lead, the defense is way different.
Everybody is.
But
even Donatel was. He gave up the lead, but he played differently.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's you don't have, because nowadays with the way defense is in football nowadays, coaches, because the offenses, you're not going to have your true defensive linemen, you're not going to have your true linebackers. They want you to be able to kind of be a tweener because of the way offenses are. These linebackers now have to be able to rush the passer, also cover in the flats, and maybe cover in the middle of the field, which Pace can't do. Okay, as he's too small.
Right,
he's too small.
Because if he was 3 inches taller, he probably would have been a third-round pick.
If he was 3 inches taller, just in his play this year, he'd have about 3 or 4 interceptions.
Yeah,
but because he is so small, and teams are going to take advantage of it, especially in the middle of the field.
First thing, the Lions game. The Lions The Vikings lost that game more than the Lions won it. I blame Brian Flores for that as well, because after the Vikings scored that touchdown to take the lead, they should have played tougher defense than what they played.
Yeah. And then the Rams game, they just were not prepared.
The Rams game was a short week.
Yeah, they were not
after playing the Lions, and they didn't know Puka was playing, so that kind of changes the whole dynamic of the offense. So, and they still had a chance to win, and of course, we all know what happened with the penalty in the end, with the non-call penalty in the end.
Yeah, see, D Woods, when it comes to I'm old school when it comes to defense. I want to know who my defensive linemen are and who my linebackers are, and I want them to play accordingly. Like with Hunter, I wanted his hands in the dirt. Hunter's more of a 4-3 defensive end.
He should have never been dropping back.
No, you don't. You don't drop back Danielle Hunter. You just don't. It's with everything being so hybrid. And here's the thing now. This is what I don't understand with a lot of these offenses. They're so pass happy. The way defenses are built, how come you're not running the ball more? How come you're not pounding the football? That would work perfectly against defenses nowadays, because there's a lot of defenses like the Vikings. They're small, especially on the D line. They're all playing that type of 3-4 hybrid type of defense. You could just run at them all day.
That's why the Ravens are so good.
Yeah. The Ravens are running the ball.
And look at Tennessee. They got rid of Derrick Henry, and look how bad they are.
Look what happened. Look what happened. You know.
And
see, here's the thing, D Woods. Flores is probably going to get an extension. I don't know. He's probably going to get an extension because
I don't think he's getting a head coaching job.
We could get shocked. Depends on which one's open. It depends on which ones open up. Don't know what they're going to do with the lawsuit. And people have forgot about that lawsuit. So,
the NFL hasn't. I'm sure the owners haven't either.
Oh, and we'll see what happens. NFL's got a way of fixing shit to work for them.
Would Jerry Jones hire Brian Flores?
Would I really want to work for Jerry Jones? Would Brian, with all the BS that's going on in Dallas, you know who's going to take that job? I'm telling you right now, who's going to take that job in Dallas? Mark my word. It'll be Deion Sanders.
Well, then the Cowboys are going to be stuck forever.
I'll bet you anything. It'll be Deion Sanders as the new head coach of the Dallas Cowboys next year. Would not shock me. Would not shock me at all.
I think a team that has a really bad defense will hire Shelley.
Or Saleh?
Yeah.
Saleh may get another shot at a head coaching job.
But who has a questionable head coach on a team that has a really bad offense, a really bad defense, but a good offense, but they still don't win?
Jacksonville.
Right. Cincinnati. It's Robert Saleh in Cincinnati to turn around that defense with the offense they have.
Yeah.
That would be scary.
Yep. I think the team that's in total rebuild is Cleveland.
Right. But that's not Stefanski's going to get blamed for it. It's not his fault.
How much Stefanski? He's been there like 6 years.
When did Zimmer get fired?
Zimmer got fired in
5-4. This is what KOC.
Zimmer got fired at the end of the 2021.
So this is KOC's third year.
He got here in 2022.
Stefanski left the year before Zimmer got fired.
5 years.
Yeah,
he's been in Cleveland 5 years. That's usually the shelf life for.
Yeah, because I remember Vikings fans were saying they fired Zimmer a year too late. They should have fired him the year before and moved Stefanski up.
Yeah.
But I don't know if Stefanski would have been the right answer, because it would have been the same culture. It would have been the same offense. It would have been the same defense.
Would it?
The culture might have been different, but it would be the same offense. It would have been the same defense.
Was Stefanski one of the defensive guy?
No, but he would run the same defense because he's been in Minnesota forever.
No, he would have found somebody to run the defense.
No, I'm saying he would have ran the same type of defense.
Yeah, and he probably would have had what's his name as a defense coordinator, Andre Patterson.
So
Yeah, he probably would have made Patterson. He probably would have kept Patterson.
and he would have kept the Kubiak offense.
Yeah.
So the Vikings would look identical that they did under Zimmer. They would just have a new head coach. If they got rid of Zimmer a year earlier, and then going to the playoffs, the Vikings winning that Saints playoff game is the reason why they didn't get rid of Zimmer earlier.
That's also the reason friggin' what's his name got an extension.
Yeah.
That's why all three got an extension at the same time for winning that Saints game.
Yeah.
You got rewarded for winning a wild card game.
And we all know what happened against the 49ers the next week.
Oh God. Yeah. It's the Wilfs are notorious for just jumping a gun and giving out extensions. Sarah, I think Allen is done.
He's defensive coordinator, so maybe in the NFL he might be done. On college team might give him a try, but I don't know. His defense wasn't very good.
No,
his offense wasn't very good, but he's a defensive coordinator, so your defense has got to be good, but it's not.
It depends on whose jobs are opening.
There's better choices out there than Allen if Flores leaves.
So here now, the question is the New York teams. You know, Dabble's gone. Ulbrich is going to be gone.
Well, a consult job is not a coaching job, though, Sarah.
Yeah, they're consulting unless the guy that's there doesn't work out then they all of a sudden move him down to the whatchamacallit. Yeah, you're right, Lefty. They are offensive minded now. Which is funny because guess what? It's always a matter of time, but things start to balance out, and a lot of defenses have caught up with today's offenses.
Well, not only that, if you notice some of the really good college teams, some of them, like Oregon doesn't pass a lot. They run a lot.
They run a lot.
Yeah, and if you look at Georgia, they run a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So they're starting to figure out that if you go back to the old school ground and pound, the defensive players aren't big enough.
Yep.
So, and as we know, college is always a couple years ahead of the NFL.
Yeah, so they're going to start running. So the NFL will start running the ball here.
Yeah, because the defensive players are getting smaller and smaller.
And I'll tell you what, you're also seeing teams like Baltimore have a lot of success running the ball. So what's going to happen is defenses that are small are going to get bigger along the front.
How do you win playoff games? It's still the same way it's always been. Run the ball and defense. That's how you win playoff games. Unless you got Patrick Mahomes. Unless you have Brady.
Unfortunately, the NFL took the NBA model where more points, more viewership, more, whatever, but that's not the case in football.
Like right now I'm watching an NBA game. It's 74-68 with 8 minutes left to go in the third.
Who is it?
It's 74-68 with 8 minutes left to go.
Who's playing?
Oh, it's Hawks and the Knicks. My team, but yeah.
Oh, okay. But I mean, it's football goes in cycles. You're going to have
Trae Young scores another point. He passes Kevin Willis all the time on the scoring list.
Oh, good for him.
Hey, as Atlanta, we haven't had a superstar in a long time.
Yeah, I don't want to hear it.
Our team was good, or are they sucking this year?
They're average. Season just started.
Yeah.
Damn, they started a bench clearing brawl with, I think it was, who was it? The Nuggets the other night? But yeah, you're right, Lefty. It'll do that. That's just the way they are. Yeah, Sarah, think about it though. When has Sean Payton not did anybody dirty?
Yep.
That's just Sean Payton. That's just the way he is.
Face.
Yeah, that's just the way he is. He's just a dirty SOB. Yeah, we did beat the Nuggets. Yep, we did.
But
yeah, I think we turned around and lost the next night, though. I forget to who, but
yeah. So we're going to do the Friday show is also going to be back, guys.
Oh, yeah, we're back on Friday.
So like I said, now that my family situation is unfortunately taken care of, um, so we're back to doing the Friday free for all. So Sarah, look for your invite. I'll send it to you on X once I set the
Yeah.
show up. Um, of course, we'll talk more about the game. We'll talk anything you want, almost anything you want.
Mm-hmm.
There's one subject that we really don't talk about, so um, just because there's just too many issues with it. Um, we're not that type of channel. you can
No.
find you can find that talk on plenty of other channels.
Yeah.
But like talk about anything you want other than that the P word. Um, I think see my Viking fan that is creeping up in the back of my head. Hey, it's the Vikings. Ooh. The Vikings should dominate this game on Sunday. Like this should be a no stress Sunday.
Mm.
But it's the Vikings. So
Yeah, it's a good one, Sarah. I'm gonna give KOC the benefit of the doubt. And I think now that they got on it, they got the winning feeling back. And I think they can get on a roll here. They've got some very winnable games coming up. Very
yeah.
winnable. So I'm gonna my head, I'm always a cautious fan. I'm always the optimistic fan. But in my mind, I want them to make a statement and blow these teams out.
Right. But we
Set
also
yourself away from the pack. Blow these teams out. And you know what? Give the Packers, Bears, and Lions something to worry about when you do play them, especially the Lions, because right now
I
the Lions think they got you.
I am not worried about the Packers.
Packers are
I
the
think that game against the Lions against the Packers showed more about the Packers than it did about the Lions.
Packers are done. Oh, by the way, I did see your comment, Sarah. Yeah, the Lions are dirty, but guess what? Guess who was on that 09 staff for the Saints? Take a wild guess.
Well, I know the answer, but
Yeah. That right there will tell you everything you need to know about why they're so dirty. He's got a history of it. Even as a player, he's got a history of it.
well, the Lions are not only going to lose one game this year; they're going to lose more than that.
Okay, Lions playing Buffalo at home. You think they win or you think they lose?
Well, the problem in that they don't have the better quarterback in that game. Josh Allen's a better quarterback than what Goff is.
Yeah.
So that's one of the few. Goff. See, the thing about Goff is that he doesn't really draw. He doesn't take shots down the field. Everything is 8 or 9 yards or less. That's why his completion percentage is so high.
Right.
You know, the Vikings take shots down the field. That's why there's more picks. That's why the completion percentage for Darnold is not as high, because the Vikings actually take shots down the field. The Lions don't. Well, I'm picking the Lions to lose this week. I think the Texans are.
I think, you know what? I think the Texans will beat them.
I think the Texans are ready for a bounce back. I think the
Yeah.
Texans are to get Nico Collins back. So I think they were good last year without Stephon Diggs. Stephon Diggs
They'll
is
be
just
fine.
about.
I think Stephon Nix is done.
They got
Stephon
Tank
Diggs is
Dell.
done.
They got Tank Dell and they got Nico Collins. They don't need.
Is Joe Mixon playing?
Do not know. Yes, Sarah. He has become the Oregon Bo Nix.
Yeah, I'm the same with you, D Woods. I always talk about him anyway. And the bottom line is the Vikings have to take care of their business. They can't rely. You got to stop relying on other teams to help you. if you take care of your business, everything falls into place. If you take care of it yourself, then you don't have to rely on anybody.
Well,
That's what they've got to do.
fantasy football people are saying start Joe Mixon. So
They said start Joe Mixon.
So obviously he's playing.
He's playing. Sarah just said he's playing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. That could be.
It's in Houston too.
It's in Houston too. They have the ability to win the next 4 or 5. D Woods. Let's see. You got Jacksonville, winnable. Tennessee, winnable. Chicago, winnable. Arizona, winnable.
Yep.
Atlanta, winnable.
Yep.
And then the Bears again, winnable.
Yeah.
You got 3 on the road, 3 at home. So Atlanta don't scare me.
Well, Atlanta's playing pretty easy teams right now.
Yeah, that's the whole
Atlanta
thing.
owns. We all know Atlanta owns Tampa. They beat them twice, pretty much every year.
They own Atlanta. Atlanta was going to win that division anyway because they're just better than everybody in that division.
Yeah.
No,
I'm in Texas, Lefty.
Right, that's 11 wins. D Woods.
Well, they're 6-2
then after
right now.
After Chicago on Monday night, you got Seattle win.
They do not look good right now.
That's a win. Then you've got Green Bay at home.
And then Chicago. No, Green Bay, then Detroit.
Green Bay and then Detroit. A win. The only one that could go the other way is Detroit. Everything else is winnable.
If they play like they did the first 5 weeks.
Yeah.
See, I think the Rams are going to win the West. With the Rams
that's not saying much.
With the Rams being healthy, they can win the West.
Oh wait, didn't the Rams lost to Arizona once, didn't they?
Well, yeah, that's why Arizona's in first.
Okay.
But they didn't have Puka.
Yeah, Lefty, we don't win in Chicago, but guess what?
They have the last 3 years, though.
Yeah, and Caleb Williams, right now, he ain't that guy. We're catching the Bears now that if by the time they play us, they will probably be ready to friggin' check out on Eberflus if they haven't got rid of Eberflus by then. They've already said Eberflus has lost that locker room.
Right.
No, Lefty, that grass is dead by this time of year.
Let me see.
It's like they're playing on dirt. So if you think about it, we're 6-2 right now. How many games we got left? 4,
Well,
8,
that's 9
9,
games. So the
10,
17th, there's 8 games left.
12. I'm not going to put a total on it because we did that last year, and
Well, hell, we did it at the bye week.
yeah, and it blew up in our faces last year, and then it blew up in the bye week this year. So I ain't even going to put this team. I said they'd be 10-7. I think they'll be better than 10-7. But I also said 10-7 because I figured JJ McCarthy would be playing right now. So,
But I think, let me see. I think Kevin O'Connell's pretty good against the Bears. Let me see.
O'Connell is
I think he has a winning record.
3-1. He's 3-1, I believe. He lost last year on that Monday night game. That was the only loss. He beat him 3 straight times.
Yeah, they usually don't lose. But I think we'll be fine at kicker position. We're not going to go for any 50-yard field goals or 60-yard field goals with the new kicker.
Well, those are out of the question now.
Like from 48 in, he's pretty good. Once you get past 48, the Vikings will just go for it.
You've got to get him now. I don't even care. get in the 30-yard range. I don't care.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. But yeah, the losing record does not. That hurts. But you know what? Next man up. The game goes
It's
on.
always been next man up.
Yep.
Sorry. So, by your bookcase in my flag on the back of my couch, it looks like there's a tear in my flag. So that's what I was looking at. Yeah, so I think 35. So I guess it's going to be something like that: 35-0, 35-7, 35-10, something like that. Maybe Sandown throws a pick and they get a short field. I think that's the only way they score.
Yeah, Jaguars look like another team that's checked out too.
Yeah.
They look like they've checked out.
So if you guys want to drop your score prediction in the chat, make sure you also hit the like and subscribe button as well. So I'm trying to grow my channel. I appreciate it.
And make sure you watch us on Friday for the free for all. We'll be back on again Friday.
I just want to do something real quick.
You might see the Vikings going for 2 a lot this Sunday.
Yeah.
Especially if Romo goes out there and doesn't look good right away.
Yeah. It's why I can see 28-10. Like the Vikings get a big lead. They're up 28. They're up 20, 8 nothing going in.
This
the fourth
game
quarter.
could possibly be like the first 4 games of the year.
I hope it is.
And I
hope this is like the Texans game.
Right. I hope it's like the Texan game. But it could be like the Giants game. I'm fine with that.
Yeah. So anybody who's in here lefty, on Friday night, we open it up not just to chat, but we actually send the invite out to join the channel to come on and just talk. So you get to have your big moment because I think you said you wanted to be on a show before Friday night. We let anybody come in and talk. So we want to thank you guys for joining us. I know it's been 2 weeks, but I think Tony and I both have our situations done, so everything should be good moving forward. But Lefty, I don't know what time you work till, but we stay up late Friday nights. Like we don't end the show till like 1:30 in the morning Central Time. So
yeah, it's long.
Yeah,
we
were on for 5 hours one night.
Yeah. And we talked about anything. We started out football, music.
Then they started talking about wrestling. Then we got into music, we're Central Time, Lefty. So, So by the time we got done talking about music, it was 3:30.
3:30. Yeah, I think the last topic we left off on was, Sarah asked how many different types of heavy metal are there, and I listed them off.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So, like I said, we appreciate it. Like I said, we are back to doing the regular Wednesdays and Fridays, and the Sunday play-by-play. That's usually me who does a Sunday live stream. Tony usually watches Vikings and the Falcons with his girl, so you can hear her bitch about Kirk Cousins. He can't get away.
I thought I was going to be free of the albatross, but no, he went to my girls' team, so I can't get away from him.
Before I go, it's my first show. I'd like to give a shout out to my Gamecocks for whipping that Texas A&M ass. Hey, Minnesota, the University of Minnesota is 5th in the Big Ten.
I know. I don't know how to act.
They're saying if they win. They're saying if they win Saturday, they could be in the top 25.
I know. I don't know how to take this. It's like I'm not a big PJ Fleck fan, and everybody knows this, but I want those kids to have success. Well, they get to success, so does PJ. I don't know. I want them to succeed. Yeah, they're going to get a bowl game, but it depends on if they get a top tier bowl game.
Yeah,
Rutgers this weekend, and then the next weekend they're playing Penn State.
Well, I think if they beat Rutgers and they keep it close with Penn State, they'll definitely be top 25.
You know, they could beat Penn State.
I wouldn't go that far.
Penn State does not scare me for some reason.
The weak ass uniforms that Penn State has.
Yeah, well, they ain't changed them in 90 years.
Looks like they went to a damn Academy Sports and got the damn uniforms.
Yeah, they ain't changed them damn things in 90 years.
They had the worst uniforms ever. But we were, yeah. So we're doing that long Minnesota goodbye. So, like I said, thank you everybody for joining us, and we will be back Friday for the Friday feed for all. You come on, you talk about anything you want, and then of course Sunday we doing the live stream. I don't know if Yogi's gonna doing it, but I usually do it with Zoe and D Woods and a couple other guys. And then, but you also have you also talk football on your Facebook pages, right, Tony?
Yeah, I do my Tony's Take, which I haven't done yet. So I haven't done a Tony's Take in 3 weeks. So I need to do one. I'll probably do it. Probably do it tomorrow morning.
All right,
and then I'll post it. I want to figure out a way to post it on your page too, on your YouTube page.
Oh, do you record it?
I record it. Yeah.
Yeah. I think if you just record it and then send me the file,
okay,
I can just I can post it to StreamYard on my channel and all that.
Okay, all right, I'll do that then. Okay.
So, all right. Well, thank you guys for joining us, and like I said, we'll see you guys Sunday, Friday, and then Sunday. Thank you guys. Thank you everybody for showing up. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe.
Thanks again, everyone.
Yep.